In our previous video, we looked at the accusative prepositions, dative prepositions. We've looked at now the two-way prepositions that are sometimes accusative and sometimes dative. So before we look at some examples, just as a reminder, the accusative case will be used when the object of the preposition or within the context of the sentence, it's showing motion indicating from point A to point B. So therefore action for accusative. It will take the dative case for the object of that preposition when you are done, like you're at a dead end, kind of like X marks the spot here, or you're at your final destination. So that indicates location, dative case. So let's look at these prepositions in detail and take a look at some examples. So, an und auf are two of the early ones, alphabetical, so this may be of help to you. The difference between an and auf is that an is on a vertical surface, right? So meaning the surface that is up and down. It could also mean in a three-dimensional object on the side of something. Auf, however, means on a horizontal surface. So a horizontal surface could be in a three-dimensional object on the top of it. All right. So auf der Decke, on the top. Auf an der Seite, on the side. So the star, der Stern ist an der Seite. The star is on the side. Yeah. Der Stern ist auf der Decke. The star is on the top. So in a three-dimensional object, an und auf would have the same context as if I were putting something, which we are always doing three-dimensional objects. But if you think about the first video with the sample of on the table, the top of the table is a horizontal surface. If I put something on the wall, that's an, meaning like on a vertical surface. We have to watch out for these special verbs, and we're going to add these to our notes. So if it's not in your notes, make sure you add the ones that are still in this video. Some of these verbs even change, depending on whether we're talking about motion or direction, accusative, or if we're talking about location, dative case. So in the sample in the first video, I used legen, liegen, stellen, stehen. Legen, the past tense is gelegen. Liegen, the past participle is gelegen. So they still have the same past participle. Stellen, gestellt. So write the past participle since you've been doing past tense as well. Stellen, you're in the process of placing it. Steht, there it is. It's located there. It's standing there. Stehen, gestanden. Hängen, gehängt. So hängen is when you are actually doing the hanging of something. So like you're hanging the artwork on the wall. Hängen in the other context has a different past participle, gehangen, and that's if something already is hung. Like there it is. Like the artwork hangs on the wall. No one's touching it. It's located on the wall. Ones to also add are setzen, gesetzt, sitzen, gesessen. So are you setting something down or is it sitting there? Like, is it already there? So if you are an English speaker, these may be a challenge to you in English as well. Lay, lie, set, sit, right? So they may actually come in more handy in German, knowing this concept. And then there is one, stecken, gesteckt, that can be accusative or dative, just depending on the context of the sentence. So make sure you've written down all of the infinitive and the past participle forms. We're going to go ahead and conjugate these. So I'm going to say them, pause the video to make sure that you can write these down for your notes. Legen is to lay something or to place it in a horizontal position, and this will take the accusative case. Make sure you mark these as accusative or dative in your notes as well. Ich lege, du legst, sie, es legt, wir legen, ihr legt, sie legen. Stellen is to place in an upright or vertical position. So in the first video, the sample was Ich stelle die Flasche. I'm placing the bottle on the table. This takes the accusative position. Ich stelle, du stellst, sie, er stellt, wir stellen, ihr stellt, sie stellen. Liegen, the opposite for legen, it now lies there, so therefore it is in a horizontal position. Ich, and so therefore its location, it takes the dative case. Ich liege, du liegst, sie, es liegt, wir liegen, ihr liegt, sie liegen. Stehen, the opposite for stellen, it stands there, so now it is in a vertical position. There it is. Ich stehe, du stehst, sie, es steht, wir stehen, ihr steht, sie stehen. That has to be dative case. Here's another preposition example, putting those in practice. So, vor. Der Hund steht vor der Tür. Yeah? So, Tür is feminine. It is die Tür. Der Hund is masculine. Ja, männlich. The dog steht vor der Tür. So, it's located in front of the door. Steht is our dative verb with now our indicating that it's going to be dative because it's talking about location. So therefore the object of our two-way preposition for must take the dative case. Der Hund steht vor der Tür. We have a few other verbs. So we have hängen and hängen. Hängen, to hang or to place in a hanging position, is the accusative case. Because you're doing it, or someone's hanging something. Ich hänge, du hängst, sie, es hängt, wir hängen, ihr hängt, sie hängen. Hängen could also be the dative case, which is if it's already hanging there, like it hangs there. There it is. It's located there, right? The artwork is on the wall. The magnet is on the refrigerator door. Ich hänge, du hängst, sie, es hängt, wir hängen, ihr hängt, sie hängen. So how it's being used, is it dative dead, right? Or destination? That's what makes it going to help the prepositions take the dative case. So let's see that in practice. Hier ist die Wand. Hier ist das Bild. Here's the photo or the picture. And here's the wall. So picture is das. It's sächlich or neuter. Die Wand, weiblich. And here's the person. Der Junge, the boy. Das Bild hängt an der Wand. The picture hangs on the wall, right? No one's doing anything. It's located there. It's its destination. Der Junge hängt das Bild an die Wand. Here, it's taking the accusative case because the boy is hanging the picture on the wall. But here, it's dative for Wand because it's at its destination or location. We have stecken, to be stuck or hidden or concealed. So someone can be in the process of hiding something, or it can already be hidden. So if you are trying to hide something, or maybe try to hide yourself for hide and seek, that's action. But once you are hid, right, like I hide behind the stairs, that's your location. So this can be either accusative or dative. Ich stecke, du steckst, sie, es steckt, wir stecken, ihr steckt, sie stecken. And we're going to add these. So you need to add these to your notes. Setzen is to set something or to place something. This would be accusative case because it's in the process. Ich setze, du setzt, sie setzt, wir setzen, ihr setzt, sie setzen. You'll also want to add the other one, which is sitzen. Sitzen, to sit or to be seated. This will take the dative case because it's location. Like you're sitting there, it's sitting there, like there it is. Ich sitze, du sitzt, sie sitzt, wir sitzen, ihr sitzt, sie sitzen. And add these examples to your notes. So sitzt, we know from our previous notes in the previous slide, is going to take the dative case because it's talking about location. So sitzt auf dem Stuhl. Der Stuhl, masculine stool, becomes the dative because we're talking about sitzen, location. Here, the girl is placing the book on the table. So the book's not there yet. See, there's a space. She's in the process of placing the book on the table. Therefore, das Mädchen setzt das Buch auf den Tisch, because it's not there yet. Now, these books, diese Bücher sind auf dem Tisch. They are already on the table. But this one is not. So, not quite there yet, almost. So, pause the video and try these 6 sentences. All of these are going to use two-way prepositions. So all of the prepositions are two-way prepositions. An, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, zwischen. I want you to write the gender above each noun. So if you need to look it up, I recommend dict.leo.org. That is a pretty good online dictionary. dict.leo.org. So if you're unfamiliar with what the gender is of some of those particular nouns here are, look them up. So right above it, F if it's feminine, N if it's neuter, M if it's masculine. Once you know that, I want you to underline the verb in the sentence. Underline the verb in the sentence. The verb will help you determine whether or not this will take the accusative or the dative. Once you have figured out the verb, whether it's accusative or dative, then you can figure out with your chart. So you only have to know accusative and dative. Also watch out for plural, of course, and then answer all of those. When you're finished, you can check your answers. But if you're watching this video, please put masculine, feminine, or neuter, M, F, or N above each of these nouns. Then underline the verb in the sentence. Underline the verb in the sentence, because that'll help you think about, will this be action, accusative, or dative, destination. Once you know that piece of material, then use the den, die, das, die, dem, der, dem, den to fill in the blanks. Pause this video now to practice and unpause when you are ready to check your answers. Die Schüler warten vor der Schule. Das Flugzeug fliegt über den Flughafen. Das Flugzeug ist über dem Flughafen. Gehst du in die Ecke? Gehst du in die Stadt? Wohnt an der Ecke. Sie geht an die Ecke. Now, do the same thing for these 4 sentences. You must first write the gender over the nouns, der, die, das, but put masculine, feminine, or neuter, M, F, or N. Then underline the verb, hint, 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 they're highlighted on this page. And then use your chart to figure out der, die, das, den, die, das, dem, der, dem, den. But those are the things you have to do. So figure out the gender, If you know it, good. If you're unsure, double check and look it up. Underline the verb, then write your answer. Unpause this video to check. Frau Bruder, hängt das Foto über das Sofa? Das Foto hängt über dem Sofa. Ich lege das Buch neben den Computer. Das Buch liegt neben dem Computer. So the first one takes the accusative case. Someone is doing the hanging. Dative for the next one because it's their location. Lege, we know, as we've seen in our notes, is an accusative verb because you're in the process of laying it there. Well, but now it lies there. There it is. It's located there next to the computer. So those are your answers. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you're able to go back and review things that you need. Viel Glück, viel Spaß. Das Ende.